Michael here, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, finally, after 6 whole months of no city updates, we are finally back with another one. And since it's been so long and I've done so much stuff, it is actually classified. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say it because I've already said it way too many times. Every update is basically an overhaul at this point. Anyways, let's get back to the point. Now, this city update, we are going to be covering more than we have ever done in a single city update. First of all, we have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 new buildings, plus a super cool rebuild, super awesome dark scenes, and a nearly finished mountain, all of which we will cover in today's video, so buckle up and let's dive straight in. As always, we are going to start from the top right-hand corner of the city, and what we'll find there is a brand new huge building that I have created from combining 2 2023 emergency vehicles HQs into one huge building. Now, I haven't really come up on a name for it or what its purpose is, but it's kind of like an office building, so I guess I'll let you guys name it in the comments. But anyways, let's move on straight to the front door where we can take a look inside. And to do so, we will first have to take off this huge panel off the side, and then you could just take off the floors individually. Let's start at the ground level where we have the patio from the set, which I have enlarged due to the 2 sets combining together. And for the actual first floor, we have the kind of reception room, I guess. We have this fancy looking guy from the 2022 Christmas Advent calendar. He also got a very curvy desk. And in the corner, we have a very nice potted plant. Now let's move on to the second floor where we have a nice little break room for all kinds of employees who need to take a break. We also have this also enlarged part from the original set with sun batteries and greenery and stuff like that. Right there we have an employee on break getting some coffee from the coffee machine included in the set. Back there we have a water cooler as well. We have a nice sofa which I've also enlarged from the set, and a nice carpet I made out of dots pieces. And for the TV, it's the same piece that came with the set, you know, the rocket launching and everything, which is also a reference to set number 60351. Now let's put on the third floor, which is the actual office space of this office building. Although you can't really call this an office because there's only 2 desks. But anyway, here we have a guy who is very happy going about his work doing office-y stuff. We got a nice little fish tank, and the second worker also doing whatever this office does. They are both on swivel chairs, but they can't really swivel since they're so close to the desks and they're kind of locked in a fixed position. However, they can wiggle around a little bit. Next, we have the 4th and final floor, which is mostly taken up by the boss's office. There we have the boss himself, who is currently checking in on some stocks or some buyings or whatever it is bosses do. And here we have another hallway with a little printer in it. Here we have a glass door so you can gain access to his office and easily see who's in there or who's out. Now let's take a look at the roof, which is holding everything together by not letting any of the elements in. Up here we have a little helipad from the original set, which can fit the helicopter, which I also doubled from the double sets. It is more of a tactical fire helicopter with 2 seats, one for a pilot and one for a water gunner. The rotor can still spin and it can also still shoot. And off to the side, we have an enlarged reception tower, communication tower, something like that. And with that, we have finished the entire building. Very, very cool building indeed. Took a little bit of brain power to combine the 2 sets, but it did work out and I like it very, very much. But as you saw with the helicopter, I also doubled the ambulance and turned it into a kind of bus. It's very nice, and I think I did an okay job of combining 2 of the ambulances. And obviously there's no hospital sticker on the piece above the windshield because this isn't an ambulance anymore. There is a little bit of interior detail and the guys barely fit in there. There we have the driver and enough room to sit 3 minifigures. I know there's 2 seats back there, but it would be a really tight squeeze for 2 minifigures sitting in there. Now let's move down the road to the new and improved shop of miscellaneous things and the Soph building, which isn't really the Soph building anymore. It's kind of a residential townhouse now, but it's still kind of the same, just without the sign. Not much has changed in my rebuild of the shop of miscellaneous things, just a few stylistic and build changes. The interior has also pretty much stayed the same, and the sign that I've been using for this place for over a year is still there with bad spelling. And nothing much has changed with the Soph building as well. except for the removal of the sign, and as I said before, it's more of a residential townhouse now. And in front is also a nice plaza for people to enjoy both the Soph building and the office building. And if you're wondering what that little switch there does, just wait until the end of the video. It does something really cool. But anyways, behind the Soph building and the shop of miscellaneous things, there's this super detailed alleyway, which I thought was just too plain and simple, so I decided to go back and spruce it up a little bit. I also intend to do this with all the other alleyways in my city. I've also changed out the entire first floor of the apartment building to be half parking lot, half reception room. And I did this just because it doesn't make sense to have such a big reception room on the first floor, and most apartment buildings usually have a garage next to them or under them. As for the interior of the reception room, this is the best I can do since I already put lights in there, and it's very annoying to take off the roof for them. Anyways, on to the next completely new building. Here we have a kind of barbershop slash stylist slash clothes shop slash restaurant. And over the past couple of months of me having this in my city, this is really starting to become my favorite building. One of the main contributors to making this so cool for me is that it was made almost entirely out of the 2021 Fab 5 loft set from the Netflix show Queer Eye. Another thing that I enjoy about this mock is the huge brick-built sign at the top of it, which says Fab, signalizing that this was made out of the Fab 5 loft. You might also notice that I tried to build a drain pipe here, but it didn't really work out. And I might just take it off since it does make sense to have a drain pipe start in the middle of the building, stop, and then keep going. And here we have a nice embedded window, which I used the building technique of using jumper plates to make it half a stud deep, giving the building some nice depth. At the back, we have this nice stairway leading up to the second floor and a door, and underneath the staircase is a crate with something in it. I don't know, I just put some stuff in there to make it look nice, and another nicely embedded window. And now taking a look at the inside, 2 snaps and a click later, we are at the first floor. And inside we can see a nice stylist room. There we have the door, which people can use to get inside. We are also currently having a customer getting his hair trimmed, and he looks very happy with what he's seeing because of the nice shiny mirror piece there, also from the original Fab 5 set. We also have a bunch of other styly details. There in the corner we can see the Pixar lamp, a bunch of skin, hair, and health products, and a bunch of cool clothes on a rack. Going up to the second floor, we have a nice little kitchen for customers to enjoy while they wait for their turn. There we can see where the door that the stairs lead up to leads. And for once, I've actually added a way for minifigures to get up here. There we have a ladder for them to get up, a little frame that came with the set, and the other frame that came with the set, which is actually where I got the inspiration for the brick-built sign. There we have a customer waiting for a turn, watching this guy fry a dumpling?
This don't look like dumpling.
I don't know what he's cooking. Anyway, there we have salt, a bottle, and a cup. There we have the original refrigerator from the set. We have the sink for them to wash stuff, a rolling pin, a water bottle, and a spoon. Now let's move on to the final piece of this mock, the roof, which isn't that detailed, but it does have this nice AC unit with a propeller and a tube leading down into the building. Now, as you may have noticed in the intro of this video, the giant tower, which greets us in almost every city update, is gone! I remove it for a few reasons. Firstly, it just doesn't fit in with the rest of my city, and since I'm going to be expanding my city here soon and building a large train station, it just doesn't make sense for the tower to be there. And after a year of it being there, it is finally time for it to go. Goodbye, tower. You will be missed. And from the sad exit of the tower, we move on to the happy, almost completed park. Very, very happy indeed. As you can see, I've added 4 new trees, including 3 that are made in the same style as the other 3, and 1 in a more realistic style. Oh, and did I mention it has apples? The park is also probably my favorite place now, since it gives birth to many opportunities to make cool, funny little stories. For example, here we have an individual whose dog is currently chasing a squirrel, who is running by another individual who is engaging in some fetch with his French bulldog. You can see the purple little stud that represents a ball over there. And over on the side of the park, facing the police station, we also have some nice recycling bins. I just hope that the apples don't fall into them. And at the end of the park, we have a nice little avenue, complete with 2 of the buildings that came with the LEGO 2022 Christmas Main Street. Although heavily modified, they still look absolutely amazing. And to go with them, I also built this custom building from the extra pieces I had while building the Fab 5 loft. barbershop thing. It's basically like a gardening store or plant store, a bunch of plants growing up there. We have a tree, Christmas tree, some kind of bush, another bigger Christmas tree, and the owner of the store trimming one of the trees. And as for the name of this place, I just used the sticker piece from the 2018 Hogwarts Express. It doesn't make too much sense, but it gets the job done. Now it's, oh wait a second, my mic ran out of battery. Alright, we're back. Hopefully the mic's charge will last for the rest of the recording. Anyways, as I was saying, taking a look at the back, it's not as detailed as the front, of course, but it's better than having it just open, which is very unrealistic for sure. If you're wondering where that door is supposed to lead, it's supposed to lead to a little ramp because I actually changed out the top floor of that building to be a post office, so they're gonna need to get post up there. I was also planning to make like a little alleyway section back here too, as you can see by all the random pieces here. And now let's move on to the new and improved hospital. And to be honest, this is 10 times better than the one before. Although it's not as detailed as it could have been, it's still better than the old one. I mean, come on, don't you agree? On the roof, we have the helipad, which is now bigger, and I'm planning to buy the 2022 rescue helicopter set that was in its own set. We also have a beefy HVAC unit and the hospital sign. As for the interior, it's the same deal with the apartment building. I already put lights in there, and it's really annoying to take off the roof with them. But I can show you through the windows. There we have a main checkup room. We also have an MRI with someone currently getting MRI'd. We also have the reception office with 3 computers and 3 desks. And at the first floor, we have the waiting room, the children's wait area, and the front desk. As for the cafeteria, not much has changed except for the guy getting pizza here.
Pizza time.
And that's it for the hospital. And now, on to the main attraction, what you've all been waiting for, the mountain. So much progress has been made on this. If I told you how much progress I made on this, you would not believe me. But seeing is believing, so just look at it. It is so close to being finished. Just this little chunk needs to be filled in, and it will be done. And I honestly cannot wait to see the train just go in there and disappear completely behind the mountain. And it already looks good, so just imagine how much better it will look like when the mountain's done. However, I did have a hard time getting some of these shapes, like this little curve here. And also at one point the mountain just completely fell apart, but luckily I put it back together. It is now more sturdier and better looking than ever. I also made a lot of progress on covering up the other side of the mountain, and also this cool little cave pocket with crystals and stalactites. But I still just cannot get over the fact that this is almost done. Probably in the next update, you will see a fully completed mountain. And before we go, I have just one last thing to show you. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Help us reach 50 subscribers by the end of the year. See y'all next time. Bye!